from time to time, colonies go queenless. The queen dies. And this can be a variety of reasons. Either she's ill, or perhaps she's swarmed and the new queen hasn't made it back, or she's made it back and something's wrong with her. Either way, you have a colony with no queen, which potentially means the end of the colony. So there's a couple of things you can do, one of which is, in certain circumstances, just leave them to get on with it and they'll make another queen, or put another queen in there for them. I've got 2 colonies that have gone queenless, and really just for ease and speed, I'm going to give them a new queen. And you can buy queens over the internet, and they arrive in a package that looks like this, with care, live bees sticker on the top. Fortunately, my postman Paul is now well familiar with all sort of thing, and when he hears something buzzing from the back of his van, he knows what it is and doesn't freak like the previous postman did. Anyway, they have duly arrived today, and inside this little jiffy bag, it takes a day or so. So I'm going to struggle with it here in one hand. Don't need to come down. And inside we have a couple of little plastic containers with the queen in, and maybe about a dozen of what are called retinue bees. Now at the moment, both the queens are crawling around on their back, and eventually when they turn over, as the one on the right is about to do, you might be able to see the green dot on her back. You probably can't see, there's actually a number on it which looks like 79. The other one is still on her back playing around, and eventually when she turns around, there she goes, just about to see it, and she's 18, or maybe the other one's 19, and I don't know. Either way, when you buy these things, you'll find that the providers have put dots on, which is what I would do, but also put numbers on them, so you have these little tiny little discs that they stick with vegetable glue to the back of the queen. The other bees are in there to look after her, feed her, and in the top here, I'll just go in, that stuff in the 2 containers there is fondant for them to be feeding on, and you may be able to see that they've started to eat their way through it already. When you turn the containers around, you'll see there's 2 slots there, and what I will do is leave them for a day or so, let them work their way through it all, and then I snap those little that container off at the bottom to make it easy for her to get out. However, the first stage obviously is to put them into the hive, and that's what we'll do next. Right, this is Ravenston number 4. Today's as close to the worst possible weather you can get for opening up a beehive. They're queenless still. I've had a quick look, there's no brood anywhere, and it's a very close, humid sort of day. So it's safe to say they are very pissed off with me. Still, the job's got to be done. So, the thing about this is that the queen's in there. Maybe just see her moving around. We'll put her in here. She has to be in the cage for a couple of days. The bees can smell her through the back here, because if I open this up now and dropped her in, they wouldn't recognise the smell and they would kill her. So she needs a couple of days for them to get used to her smell, in which case then I break this off, little cap, and then they can chew their way through to get out, although as I said they're actually doing it already. So what the other problem about doing this is that once she starts laying and the eggs develop and out come the babes, they are fed by the younger bees, the very youngest of the bees who produce royal jelly after about a week or so of their lives, and they feed them pollen and nectar. The trouble is, there aren't any, I don't think, any young bees in here, because this has been this way for a while now. So what I've done is, thanks to the beast, I've borrowed from her a frame of brood, and you might be able to see the little white dot there and there. That's the little larvae thing just about to be capped up, and there's one there as well. So what I can do is I'm going to put this in here, and these young ones will start developing, and then they will be ready for the eggs that hopefully Queenie's going to lay. So firstly, take out a frame. And here we go. They're going to be very unhappy. Sweetie. Move them along so there's a gap in the middle. This is going to go in here, but firstly I need to get the Queen. She's suspended between the frames, and I just stick a nail through like this. Excuse me. In goes the frame. In goes Queenie. And close it all up. And that will stay like that for a couple of days. So today's Thursday, and come back on Saturday and see how they've got on. Queen extruder back on. Ground ball back on. Roof back on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. So let's see how she gets on. Today's Tuesday, so she's been in here for about 4 or 5 days now, and the job we've got to do today is basically let her out if she hasn't already got herself out. Slight technical problem with the camera as usual, so that I didn't record the snapping open of the little gap thing at the bottom. But today, just a question of seeing whether she's managed to chew her way out, and if she hasn't, then we'll introduce her to the colony, just open up the little cassette thing she's in. I'll just give her a bit of a smoke just to keep them down and out of the way. They're okay, but it's a bit humid today. Okay. Off comes Queen Extruder. There she is. And can't see. So I come on the side and we'll see what we've got. And she's gone. She's out of here. You can see there. This is the little thing that I snapped off a couple of days ago to leave her and the rest of the new bees that are in here to chew her way out, which she's done very successfully. So she's in there somewhere, and I'm not going to go looking for her. Excuse me, Don, thank you. I'm not going to go looking for her. She's sort of settling in now. Loads of bees here, so everything looks quite okay. And she's got to sort herself out a little bit, so it's recommended that you don't check the bees for a couple of weeks. So we're going to leave her for the time being and see how she's getting on in about a couple of weeks. Really must fix this roof one day. Alright, sweetie, see you in a couple of weeks. Okay, we're now 2 weeks on after the Queen was put in, and hopefully by now she's settled in, adjusted to her new world, and hopefully laying some eggs. So the purpose of today is just simply to see whether or not there are any eggs being laid, and if we can see her, that would be nice. There look to be quite a few bees in here. This hive is a bit of a mistake, I'm afraid, I made here. I don't know if you can see, but that actually isn't the frame. I'd left the frame out, so they did what they always do, which is full of wax. So one day, probably during the winter, when they've retreated back to the middle of the hive, I'll get that out. However, bees are here. I've given them a bit of smoke just to keep them down, and they're quite calm. So what we're looking for are eggs. The eggs themselves are far too small to see. There's a wasp there, bastard. And the eggs hatch out into larvae after 3 days, and then the larvae develop, and after another, I think it's 9 days, I can't remember, they will cap it over. It'll then develop into a pupae and then a bee. So what we're looking for is hopefully open and closed brood. So let's see what we can see. I would normally take this out, but I can't because it's a frame, because it's pure wax. So I'll commit the beekeeper's cardinal sin of starting in the middle and lift up gently. That's all honey on that side and that side, so no big deal. I'll just shake them down so they don't get in the way. I'll work my way in until hopefully we find some brood. Nothing there. Nothing there. Obviously an empty one to put in. Excuse me. And at last, I was just beginning to get a bit worried. We have a nice big splodge of brood here. This is the stuff in the middle, capped over. You won't be able to see, but that, maybe you won't be able to see there, and there. See the little white bits, which are the larvae inside the cells. All the rest of it is obviously more than 9 days, but it is. It's been capped over. Oops, sorry, girls, sorry. I was careless. And the other side, yep, again over here, quite a lot of it. She had me worried there. I was beginning to think she hadn't taken, but that looks fine. Sorry for never doubting me. Please, can you mind the way, please? Just have a quick look at another couple, see if we can see her. Oh, lovely stuff. Yep, that's just fine. Again, let's try and do it knocking it again. All this here, this capped brood, excuse me. See there? Yeah, there's one there, just a version being capped over. So lots of nice stuff there. She's not anywhere to be seen. Let's look in here. Loads of it again. And there she is. You see her just there? There she goes with her little green dot in her. She's number 50. Oh, she's gone. What are you? 57, is it? See, she'll go and hide in the dark because she doesn't like daylight. But anyway, that's great. Masses of brood there. We've seen the queen, and everything is a fucking wasp in there. When I got here, there were 1 or 2 wasps around at the entrance to this one and the one next to it. Now, at the moment, the hive colony will be okay with this. However, as things get close more into autumn, the wasps will get more and more inquisitive. So I'm tempted to put the entrance excluder on. But we'll leave it for the time being. She's doing fine. Put the roof back on. And we're done, and they seem to be quite nice, calm bees. There's some bees on me, but excuse me, darling. None of them stung me, which is nice. So, good news all round.